I'm Alex Buriak, Senior Vice President at Jet Lending. A common question we get here at Jet Lending is, do you think my deal is good or not? And the answer is that it's subjective. And why it's subjective is whatever your business needs to keep buying real estate or to get to your end wealth goal is really up to what you're planning. So what we'll do is we'll have a deal analyzer and we will go through all the projected costs of a deal, especially when you're using asset-based lending like Jet Lending. So you can say, hey, this makes sense for these projections to make X. So I'm going to walk you through a little bit of what we'll do as an analyzer. It's not all encompassing, but it's pretty close. A lot of it has some variables that need to be projected. But let me walk you through an actual deal that closed at Jet Lending and why the client moved so quickly to do so. So the first thing you always have to do is you have to pay the loan off. So if I'm lending on this loan at $297,500, you got to pay that back right away, when you close the house. So you're paying off your first lien. So they paid $3,266.38 a month. You have to pay yourself back the money that you spent in the deal. So why I'm doing this is to show you how to make sure that your all-in cost, even your monthly payments, you have to pay yourself back as a business. Okay? Let's say that we projected they were going to be in this loan for 6 months. And this was a bigger house, so let's say about $200 a month in utilities that you have to pay yourself back since you paid that. Selling commissions. If you have an agent and the buyer has their own agent, you're going to spend at least 3%. If you're your own agent, you're still probably spending 3% because the buyer is bringing their own agent. If not, let's say your agent brings you and the buying party, that's still 6%. So always let's project the worst case scenario, because if you're still doing good on the worst case scenario, you're going to do better than if it doesn't happen. So let's say 6%. This borrower was out of pocket at closing $6,841.63 at closing. Jet Lending covered the rest. So you have to pay yourself back that out of pocket cost. Let's say there were no HOA fees in this subdivision. It is not uncommon to give a 3% seller's contribution at closing. So let's do the worst case scenario. Let's say 3%. This house was projected on appraisal and evaluation at $425,000. The second closing cost is an algorithm. We won't know that until the final HUD comes and who's paying what and what you wrote on your contract. But it's reasonable to assume that about 1.5% of your sales price is going to be about your closing costs. So that's how we got this number. So with this borrower, if he was in and out of this loan in 6 months, paid back the loan of $297,500, paid themselves back 6 months of interest payments, so 6 times this number, paid themselves back their first closing cost, paid all the HOA fees, but let's say there wasn't one on this one, put 3% seller's contribution in, paid 6% agent fees, and sold it for $425,000 within 6 months, their projected estimates would be $55,235.09 all net. It means they paid everything that they've ever put a penny in. So always look at your deals like that. We would love all your business, but I know that you guys will use private money or your own cash. I don't recommend that or anything else, but look at your deals this all in. Your holding time changes things. Look on days on market, things like that. I can show you right there, if this turned to 9 months, he's making $44,000. You're out in 12 months, you're $34,000. You go to 6 months, but like say there was an HOA fee of $50 a month. It changes things. It doesn't seem like, oh, well, that's not too bad. Well, what if this was a condo you're selling and it was $250? Look at that change. I mean, every money out counts. Okay, so this is how I want you to look at deals when you're looking at it. Does this number in 6 months make sense for my business to buy it? And the answer is yes. No more questions. Go buy it. Doesn't matter where it's at. It doesn't matter what condition it's in. If this is your projected on net profits, then you buy the property. If this deal was making $7,000, is it worth making $7,000 in 6 months for all this work? And that's where you have to make an educated decision upon what's right for your business. So this is how we look at things. Again, you tell us if it's right for your business. We can't tell you that it's a wrong deal or a right deal, but we'll always say, does this make sense for what you're trying to do in business? Does this make sense to make this amount of profit in X amount of months because of the projected data in MLS? All these things, and that's why people come to us, because we're behind you. We want you to succeed, because if you succeed and you make more money, guess what? You're probably going to buy another house, and hopefully we'll get the deal out of it, and that's how we make money. You make money, and we make money. So give us a call. Our information's here at the bottom. We would love to help you out. We have a lot of different analyzers and things like that to make sure you're protected, you're doing good deals, you're making sure that you stay in business. Again, this is Alex Buriak, Senior Vice President, Jet Lending. We'll talk again.